Hi guys, welcome to ANIMEized. This is the English translated version of the novel Throne of Seal. The novel differs slightly from the Chinese animation or donghua. If you want more of these videos, please smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. Enjoy and have a blessed day.
The more anxious you are, the harder it is to recover your memory. Would you like me to tell you about yourself? Under Long HaoChen's continuous reassurance, the fear in Cai Er's eyes gradually subsided, but her gaze at Long HaoChen remained vigilant. Don't come closer, just talk from there, all right. Long HaoChen agreed, speaking in the gentlest tone. Your name is Cai Er, and you're an assassin from the Assassin Temple of the Holy Temple Alliance. The Holy Temple Alliance? What is that, and what is the Assassin Temple? Cai Er stared blankly at Long HaoChen. Long HaoChen was also stunned. He didn't expect Cai Er's amnesia to be so complete. Cai Er, please sit down first. And I'll slowly explain, okay. Cai Er's resistance seemed to lessen, and she sat down slowly upon hearing this. But as soon as she sat down, her brows furrowed. I'm hungry, so hungry. Indeed, all three of them hadn't eaten anything for a day and night. Long HaoChen quickly took out food and water from Eternal Melody and gave them to the two women, taking care of Cai Er's food, and even lit the fire of light to warm her dried rations, taking care of every detail. Yue Ye watched Long HaoChen as he assisted Cai Er with her food, while starting to explain the situation on the Holy Demon Continent to her, and couldn't help but be fascinated. For some reason, her nose felt a bit tingly, and there was a hint of mist in her beautiful eyes. If one day, a man could do this for me, I would gladly accept death immediately. Cai Er's fear and resistance gradually faded with Long HaoChen's care and endless storytelling, disappearing slowly. As she listened to everything Long HaoChen said, her mind gradually stabilized, like a thirsty desert traveler suddenly finding an oasis. She carefully memorized all that Long HaoChen said. At least, she prevented her mind from being blank. After every half an hour of narration by Long HaoChen, he allowed Cai Er to rest for a while, to digest the information he shared, before continuing. Just the background of the continent, and its current situation, took almost 2 hours to cover. The first time we met I was very young at that time, and you were much stronger than me. I was only 9 years old, picking wild vegetables to bring home to eat, when suddenly I saw you, slender and only 7 or 8 years old, falling to the ground. Do you still remember how we looked when we reunited? I didn't recognize you at that time, but you recognized me with the forget-me-not ring, and you didn't tell me. How naughty of you. But I was really happy during that time. It seemed like even the demon hunting squad selection wasn't important anymore. At Exorcism Pass, when we lived in the dormitory, you boldly set up a little home for us, and that had the most significant impact on me. I silently vowed in my heart that I would give you a warm home in the future. It's my fault. I didn't take care of you properly, and you suffered so much. Long HaoChen continued to speak slowly, his voice gentle, like a clear spring washing over Cai Er's heart, until the moment she leaned against his shoulder and fell asleep. On the other side, Yue Ye had been captivated by the story, even more focused than Cai Er. In these days, they spent a full 3 days like this, with Long HaoChen continuously narrating, feeding Cai Er and providing her with drinks, and even teaching Cai Er some private matters regarding a girl's physiological needs. Naturally, Yue Ye taught Cai Er. Long HaoChen's narration is very detailed, and he has been patiently repeating it. After 3 days of contact, Cai Er finally no longer rejects him, but rather, she has become somewhat dependent on him. However, she still hasn't remembered anything, only managing to memorize what Long HaoChen told her. Cai Er's strength has not diminished, instead, it has greatly increased. The only good news is that her combat instincts are still intact. The only things she can remember are the skills of an assassin. According to Cai Er, she seems to have acquired a new ability. She's not sure about the specifics, but according to Long HaoChen's judgment, she probably needs further comprehension to use it. This new ability is naturally related to her identity as a death god's descendant. After a few days of interaction, the amnesiac Cai Er has gradually accepted Long HaoChen, but she is now like a blank slate, unfamiliar with the world, viewing him as a dependable friend, but lacking the emotions from before. Yue Ye has seen Long HaoChen melancholic when Cai Er sleeps or practices more than once. We should go back. Cai Er, are you ready? Long HaoChen said to Cai Er. Yes. Cai Er nodded gently, her big eyes blinking, now showing a bit more liveliness than before. Long HaoChen couldn't help but sigh inwardly. After bidding farewell to Yue Ye, he activated the teleportation of Eternal Melody. A golden light shimmered, enveloping the three of them. Cai Er instinctively leaned close to Long HaoChen, grabbing his sleeve, her eyes tightly closed, looking very tense. Yue Ye also quietly moved closer to Long HaoChen, sneaking glances at him, noticing all his concern focused on Cai Er. The golden light shone, and when the three reappeared in the wilderness, it was unexpectedly night outside, with a gloomy sky, and no moon or stars, making everything around look dim. Cai Er, we're back on the continent now. Long HaoChen gently nudged her beside him. Cai Er opened her eyes, looking around with curiosity. Is this our original world? Long HaoChen smiled. Yes, you'll see our companions soon. Oh, you'll stay with me all the time, right? Cai Er said with anticipation. Long HaoChen nodded. Always. Cai Er giggled. That's good, you're a good person. I remember everything you said, you're my boyfriend, right? Long HaoChen chuckled. Yes, I will always protect you and keep you safe, yes. Cai Er nodded vigorously. HaoChen, I have to go. Yue Ye's voice sounded from the side. Long HaoChen turned to look at her, seeing a lonely and delicate face. Go back, don't think too much. If you need our help, have someone from Moonlit Night Merchant Group contact me in Holy City. Most of the tasks we accepted this time are done. Maybe we won't take on more tasks. I want to take Cai Er back to her parents and see if we can help her remember something. Yue Ye suddenly fell silent, lowering her head, lost in thought. Long HaoChen looked at her with some confusion, and Cai Er on the other side also glanced over, but she clearly didn't have a good impression of Yue Ye, and even gave her a somewhat hostile look. Yue Ye suddenly lifted her head, meeting Long HaoChen's gaze. She said, "The snake demon god Andamari is in the eastern Anda province. It is said that he has been searching for something in the dark marshes of Anda province. Andamari is suspicious by nature and extremely powerful, always carrying his demon god pillar with him. Although he ranks last among the 72 demon gods, his affiliated snake demon race is formidable, otherwise, he wouldn't be alone guarding a province. To deal with him, you must first kill the 4 Medusas around him. Never look into Medusa's eyes. If caught by her gaze, you must kill her before succumbing to petrification, or you'll never recover. Medusa is a 6th-rank demon, while common snake demons are mostly in the 3rd to 5th tiers." Long HaoChen looked at her in surprise. Yue Ye chuckled self-deprecatingly. "It's nothing, consider it a reward for comforting you by looking into your eyes. If you want more information from me in the future, it will come at a high price. I'm leaving." With that, she turned and walked away into the distance. However, after a few steps, she stopped again, abruptly turned around, gave Cai Er a provocative look, and said to Long HaoChen, "If you had met me first, I would have made you like me, not her." Purple light flashed, and when Yue Ye turned around again, she flew up, mist filling her eyes, as if tears could overflow at any moment. Long HaoChen looked surprised as she flew away into the distance, unable to say anything for a moment. In fact, he wasn't a dull person, but in the past few days, his attention had been entirely on Cai Er, and he hadn't paid much attention to Yue Ye. Yue Ye's words undoubtedly sounded explosive in his ears, leaving him somewhat at a loss. "Humph, what's so great?" Cai Er stuck out her tongue in the direction Yue Ye left. "I could tell she had bad intentions a long time ago. Long HaoChen, tell me, do you like her or me?" Looking at Cai Er's stubborn face, Long HaoChen couldn't help but feel both amused and helpless, but he also felt something different inside. The old Cai Er would never have asked him such a question. Cai Er used to be more introverted, but after losing her memory, she became very outgoing. Wasn't she acting like a pouting little girl now? "Of course I like you. In my entire life, I will only like you." Long HaoChen gently took her hand, saying seriously. Cai Er, a bit flustered, avoided his gaze, pulling her hand back. Don't be like this, it feels a bit weird. You said you would take me to find our companions, right? Let's go quickly." In the Great Jock City, at the headquarters, for the past few days, the atmosphere in the entire headquarters has been gloomy. Both the Royal Level No. 17 Demon Hunting Squad and the Martial Level No. 64 Demon Hunting Squad, every team member's mood has been very low. Especially the 5 members of the Martial Level No. 64 Demon Hunting Squad have been suppressing their emotions intensely. If it weren't for the soul link, allowing them to sense that Long HaoChen and Cai Er are still alive, their emotions would have erupted long ago. For the past few days, they couldn't help but go out twice to look for traces of Long HaoChen and Cai Er, but they found nothing. Tian Qing, especially, led his teammates in continuous efforts to find traces of Long HaoChen and Cai Er after a brief rest. Although Tian Qing hasn't said much, you can tell from his bloodshot eyes how uneasy he is. Indeed, how could he be calm? It's precisely because of his wrong decision that both demon hunting squads are in dire straits. Without Long HaoChen, none of them might have come back alive. Now, they are safe, but Long HaoChen and Cai Er's fate is uncertain, which is even more unbearable than killing him. "Han Yu, let's go to the magic capital to find the leader." Yuan suddenly stood up, speaking solemnly. With Long HaoChen absent, Han Yu, as another knight in the team, temporarily took over Long HaoChen's position as captain. "I agree." Shima Xian stood up resolutely, his arms clenched, veins popping. When they left Holy City, each of them felt that their strength had greatly improved, but when they truly arrived on the demon battlefield, especially in the previous battle, they realized how insignificant their strength was. At crucial moments, they couldn't help Long HaoChen at all. Faced with so many powerful demons, they didn't even have a chance to make a move. Lin Xin and Cai Er stood up with red eyes, all focusing on Han Yu. Han Yu looked at them, then slowly stood up. Rationally speaking, I should stop you. Going there's at least a 90% chance we'll stay there forever. I can't let you take unnecessary risks. But to hell with rationality. Let's go. As he spoke, he grabbed the bloodthirsty berserker beside him, and was the first to walk towards the door. As the five were about to leave, a tall figure blocked their way. Move aside. Sima Xian shouted loudly. He directly lifted the power pill of light in his hand. Blocking their path was the royal level number 17 demon hunting squad captain, Tian Qing. I can't let you go. I've made a wrong decision once already. I can't make another mistake. With HaoChen absent, I must protect you in his place. Get out of the way. Sima Xian shouted again, even more fiercely this time. He raised the power pill of light in his hand. Other members of the martial level number 64 demon hunting squad also released their spiritual power. Their suppressed dissatisfaction with Tian Qing finally erupted at this moment. Tian Qing took a deep breath. If killing me can ease your sorrow, I won't fight back. But we are demon hunters, how can we die at the hands of our own kind? I know, it's all my fault. Please give me a chance to atone. I don't ask for much, just let me go to the Heart City. If within 10 days I and my companions can't bring back any news, then you can take action. The crisis HaoChen faces is because of my wrong decision. Even if it means going to my death, let me die ahead of you. I just hope to pull a few backs before dying. At this point, a strong aura surged from him. As a mithril silver knight, he had reached the pinnacle of the 7th rank, and after the battle with Bao, he was even close to the 8th rank. His words were filled with determination. In these past few days, the 5 members of the martial level number 64 demon hunting squad were filled with grief. How could his mood be good? It might even be more painful. They had waited for several days, and there was no news at all. In fact, each person had already prepared for the worst. At this moment, he didn't want to endure this torment any longer. Sima Xian's expression eased a bit, and he calmly said, "Talking about this is meaningless. Please move aside. What you do is your business, but our leader is our captain, and we only trust our own strength. Unless you kill us, you won't stop us from leaving." As he spoke, purple electric light began to envelop him. His whole body emitted a chilling, murderous intent. "Shima, calm down," Han Yu shouted. As he spoke, he walked to Sima Xian's side and said to Tian Qing in a deep voice, "Captain Tian Qing, we won't dwell on the mistakes of the past actions. You know your command, but the mistake has been made. Blaming you won't bring Captain back safely. Please don't stop us now. Shima is right, what you do is your business, but finding Captain is something we must do. We can be sure Captain and Vice Captain are still alive. As long as there is a glimmer of hope, we won't give up." Tian Qing silently shook his head. "Even if I have to defeat all of you, I won't let you pass. Come, we'll defeat you then." Sima Xian could no longer restrain himself, and in the confined space of the headquarters, it didn't hinder the direct projection of his power pill of light. The large metal ball in his hand was about to smash towards Tian Qing. "Shima, stop." A clear voice sounded from behind Tian Qing. Hearing this voice, Sima Xian, who was about to release the power pill of light, dropped it with a loud thud. The enormous shock caused everyone to experience intense ringing in their ears. Everyone was momentarily stunned, then each person's eyes revealed an incredulous joy. Tian Qing turned abruptly to look, and not far behind him was none other than Long HaoChen walking briskly. Cai Er followed behind him with a curious and somewhat uneasy expression. "Boss!" Sima Xian shouted loudly, striding towards Long HaoChen. His strong body directly knocked Tian Qing in front of him. In a few steps, he reached Long HaoChen. He opened his arms and gave him a big hug. Not only him, all members of the martial level number 64 demon hunting squad were excited and even screaming as they rushed towards Long HaoChen. Even the strong Han Yu couldn't help but shed tears at this moment. The excitement of the reunion after the disaster made the blood of each person seem to burn. This excitement cannot be described in words. Cai Er even rushed forward to hug Long HaoChen and gave him a kiss on the face. This made Long HaoChen's face turn red. Cai Er instinctively took a few steps back, increasing the distance between her and Long HaoChen, curiously looking at the people in front of her who seemed strange. Although she, with amnesia, didn't understand why this situation occurred, she could vaguely feel the sincere emotions of everyone towards Long HaoChen. After Long HaoChen hugged each of his companions, he suddenly saw Tian Qing quietly leaving. He hurriedly called out, "Big Brother Tian Qing." Tian Qing's body stiffened, stopped in his tracks, turned around with a bitter smile and said, "I'm not worthy of being called Big Brother by you. Just call me by my name." Long HaoChen walked briskly to Tian Qing, tapping his right fist to his left chest, and performed a knight's salute. Tian Qing almost instinctively returned the gesture. Long HaoChen said in a deep voice, "Just one failure made you lose heart? Although you were aggressive in this operation, I also had my reservations. During the battle, you repeatedly suggested that you and your companions cover our retreat. You did not lose the honor of being a knight. In my heart, you are still a knight like an elder brother. You shouldn't be disheartened because of this. but should continue to lead your companions for the honor of knights, and to fight for the future of humanity. Big brother Tian Qing, I don't blame you. Looking blankly at Long HaoChen, Tian Qing's body began to tremble slightly, and his lips moved, but no words came out. Such a tough guy, couldn't stop the gushing tears at this moment. HaoChen, I'm sorry. His knees weakened, and he was about to kneel down. Long HaoChen quickly hugged him. Big brother Tian Qing, everything has passed, aren't we all still alive and well? The suppressed emotions of the past few days completely erupted at this moment, as a powerful mithril silver knight, one who shed no tears on the battlefield, but Tian Qing at this moment was crying like a child, showing how intense his inner pain was. However, being able to cry seemed to be the best for him. Otherwise, emotions wouldn't find an outlet, and he might really head towards destruction in a short time. Men hugging each other, it's a bit strange. A somewhat timid and shy voice suddenly sounded. Yue Ye subconsciously said, Cai Er, don't tease. However, as soon as she said this, she felt something was wrong, because Cai Er was right in front of her, looking at her in surprise behind her. Yue Ye instantly turned around, and was surprised to see Cai Er actually had a pitiful look as she retreated to the side, peeking at them with curiosity. It wasn't just the two of them, even the other members of the martial level number 64 demon hunting squad were stunned. In their hearts, Cai Er had always been cold, silent, decisive, and powerful. In the team, they respected Long HaoChen the most, but they were definitely afraid of Cai Er. Although Cai Er rarely spoke, but once she needed to step forward, she could immediately replace Long HaoChen's position in the team, and no one would doubt her. Her formidable strength was evident to everyone, a formidable existence that could easily defeat 8th-rank powerhouses. All along, she and Long HaoChen were the dual cores of the team. Who would have thought, at this moment, Cai Er would actually say such words, which couldn't be described as anything but peculiar. Cai Er instinctively moved towards Long HaoChen, and finally, with a flash, she hid behind Long HaoChen. Grabbing the back of his clothes with both hands, Long HaoChen helped Tian Qing up, seeing the surprised looks of his companions. His eyes dimmed slightly as he said, It's okay, let's talk about it when we get back. Big brother Tian Qing, you don't look well. We have safely returned, you also take a good rest. We can't stay in Yaku City any longer, it's better to leave as soon as possible. By the way, return the Mithril Foundation battle armor to Big Brother. While saying this, he released the legendary armor, silver like a box, in front of Tian Qing. However, Tian Qing did not take it. Shaking his head, he said, I am no longer qualified to wear this armor, so give it to your brother. Long HaoChen smiled and shook his head, saying, No, big brother. Do you think with my strength, I can't win a set of Mithril Foundation battle armor in our night temple? Tian Qing suddenly realized, saying, Yes, with your strength. Obtaining the Mithril Foundation is not difficult. This is your glory. HaoChen, it's great that you are safe. I won't say much more. I don't deserve to be your big brother. If there's anything our team can help with in the future, no matter the difficulties, we will not hesitate. We'll rest for a bit, and then leave. I won't say goodbye again. After saying that, he saluted the entire martial level number 64 demon hunting squad with a knightly gesture, and with a look of embarrassment, he turned away. He really had no face to stay any longer. This emotional knot couldn't be untied in a short time. Tian Qing secretly vowed in his heart that one day, he would repay this debt, even if it meant giving his life. Captain, what about Cai Er? Yue Ye asked in confusion. Long HaoChen fell silent for a moment, and the pain in his eyes was clear to everyone. Let's talk in the room. While saying this, he turned and nodded to Cai Er, leading her inside. The rooms in the headquarters were not large, and 7 people in one room seemed a bit crowded, but the atmosphere was even more solemn. Damn demons! Shima Xian fiercely pounded the wall beside him. After listening to Long HaoChen's account of the separation, everyone's mood could be imagined. Cai Er just listened quietly on the side, occasionally glancing at Long HaoChen, with a somewhat shy and innocent look. Can you tell me who is who first? Cai Er seemed not to sense the sorrow of the others, and instead asked curiously. After losing her memory, she seemed timid, but curious about everything. Suppressing their inner sorrow, each person introduced themselves. Cai Er looked at them seriously, then hid behind Long HaoChen again. Long HaoChen's cheek muscles twitched a bit, taking a deep breath, then slowly said, My body has basically recovered. Let's discuss our next actions. Cai Er lost her memory, but her strength has increased. However, her current temperament, it's hard to say how much strength she can exert. Among the 16 tasks we took this time, most have already been completed. The remaining tasks are only to assassinate the snake demon god Andumali, and hunt 100 ordinary snake demons and 2 Medusa snake demons. According to Yue Ye's information, the snake demon god Andumali is in the eastern province of Andu, overseeing all affairs in that province. I checked the map. Andu province is located to the northeast of the central provinces, and it's quite far away. It's already at the eastern end of the continent, and further east is the ocean. But because it's far from the alliance, its defenses are not too strong. The main task of the demons there is to fish in the sea, to supplement their food supply. If we go to Anda Province for the mission, aside from the uncertainty of killing Andumali, the difficulty of the other two tasks is not too high. Also, according to Yue Ye, Andumali is searching for something in the dark swamp of Andu Province. If we can surround him with our 7 members, there should be a chance to kill him. The only thing I'm worried about now is Cai Er's condition. Her fighting instincts are still there. But her mental state, you all saw it. But this information is valuable. We can't give up easily. We may have to temporarily exclude Cai Er's strength. During the mission, I might have her stay inside the Tower of Eternity. This makes the difficulty of killing Andumali even greater. Of course, the best scenario is if Cai Er can regain her memory or restore her ability to actively fight. After this mission is over, I want to take her back to Exorcism Pass to reunite with her family. Maybe influenced by her family, her memory recovery may be more significant. Han Yu said in a deep voice. Captain, without the help of the vice captain, we want to kill the snake demon god. But I'm afraid. Long HaoChen nodded slightly and said, yes, the difficulty is great, but it's not completely without good news. After the battle with Bao, my cultivation breakthrough happened, and now I have reached the 7th rank. We need to complete at least the other 2 tasks. As for killing the snake demon god, let's do what we can, not force it. In the past few days, I have carefully considered. Initially, I intended to take Cai Er back to the Alliance immediately. But later, I thought about it carefully. Cai Er has been cultivating for so many years, in battles, perhaps it can stimulate her thoughts. Maybe there is some possibility of helping her recover. I will protect her well. So, let's go to Anda Province after all. After hearing his explanation, everyone couldn't help but nod slightly, and a strong fighting spirit rose in their hearts. In the previous battle, surrounded by 6 anti-demon hunting squads, Long HaoChen can be said to have saved 2 demon hunting squads by himself, bearing all the pressure alone. Cai Er even lost her memory because of this. How could their hearts feel good? Each person had a different degree of self-blame in their hearts, and their hatred towards the demons deepened a bit more. Only by using the blood of the demons can this deep hatred be cleansed. The news coming into the headquarters from outside showed that the atmosphere in Yaku City is very tense. Almost all Yaku demons are patrolling the streets, and there are even 2 anti-demon hunting squads staying inside the city. Furthermore, there are numerous cavalry patrols outside the city. Obviously, they are searching for their traces. When Long HaoChen and Cai Er returned earlier, although they didn't encounter any trouble, they still avoided several patrols on their way back. As night fell, taking advantage of the darkness, figures quietly walked out of the small restaurant. Each person was wearing a large cloak, and leading them was Long HaoChen, dressed in brilliant holy armor. They didn't leave Yaku City through the secret passage, but walked out directly from the headquarters after nightfall. Cai Er was by Long HaoChen's side, looking around with curiosity on her face. Her big eyes blinked. For her, who had lost her memory, everything she saw now was very interesting. At this moment, they all put on magic pupils, making their eyes turn purple, completely resembling the appearance of the Moon Demon clan, but with a fierce killing intent in each person's eyes. Long HaoChen slightly discerned the direction, and said in a low voice, according to the map drawn by the headquarters, the city lord's mansion should be in that direction. Let's go. While saying this, he took the lead and started walking, heading towards a certain direction. Now the entire Yaku province is on edge, and there are 7 of them in total. Trying to leave quietly, the likelihood of being discovered is high, and being chased is almost inevitable. Long HaoChen's plan is simple. To raid the city lord's mansion in Yaku City, create chaos inside the city, so that the demons will recall their forces from outside, allowing them to leave more smoothly. This is undoubtedly a risky strategy, but with the support of the Tower of Eternity, it's not as dangerous. Moreover, even though there are 2 or more anti-demon hunting squads in Yaku City, they won't appear immediately. They just need to strike and then retreat, avoiding entanglement in battles. The 7 of them quickly moved towards the city lord's mansion. Just crossing a street, they encountered a Yaku demon patrol. A team of 20 Yaku demons blocked their way, with the leader shouting, "Who are you? Take off the cloaks on your heads." Long HaoChen slowly lifted his head, and 2 sharp rays of light burst from his eyes. He coldly said, "We're here on behalf of the Moon Demon clan, looking for trouble?" With a raised hand, he displayed his Moon Demon Viscount token. The Yaku demons, stared at by his purple eyes with magic pupils, immediately stepped back 2 paces, hastily and respectfully said, "So, you are a noble from the Moon Demon clan, please. Long HaoChen snorted, displaying the arrogance of the Moon Demon clan.